I don't know. Does anyone even want to know what I think about it? It's quite hard to blow that trumpet, but I'll give it a go. I'm quite happy with Arabella on the new record, lyrically. Well, all round really, no disrespect to you guys. But I just think the words on there are alright. What else? What else has there been? Cornerstone, maybe. It's quite concise. It's quite hard to sort of review yourself like that. That's your job, Matthew. That's why we leave that to you. Yeah, it was great. We had a cracking summer. We started off the summer doing these shows in Don Valley Bowl in Sheffield. That was really a sort of special weekend for us, yeah. We have, but they've never been that good, which has been fun, yeah. Like, it's too many to mention. Like, it's yeah, I guess it was sort of, it's for the first time. It's usually at this point in a campaign we sort of start getting a bit bored and wanting to make another record, whatever. But that hasn't really happened yet this time. In our band's infancy, that was like sort of number one thing. Was like, is that it? Like, but that first record was like a big deal for us. That was like really important, I think, for us, that we made that Humbug record and like went and did it in the way we did it, with who we did it. Like, after that, it just seemed like anything were possible, you know. It really like gave us a boost. So this one did kind of come together pretty easy. But I think it's just one of them, more of a like insult over there. Should be called, sort of think it should be called that. I think it's I suppose it is, you know, like, or it's just a bit clearer or something. First record you ever bought? Once, actually, yeah. But that's just like such a good tune, that, isn't it? And were it? I don't know. Yeah, I was here for a night a couple of weeks ago, yeah. My girlfriend was DJing. Just came up for the night, yeah, in and out.
How was that?
Lovely. Well, we've always been big fans of his, like, ever since we started playing guitars, really, I think. And we were fortunate to meet him at festivals a couple of years ago, and we did a show together in Houston, and, you know, kind of, I suppose that's where like the relationship began. And then I think around that time we thought about asking him to go in the studio, perhaps, you know, and then we sort of like forgot about it a little bit, and then the idea was remembered to us by Lawrence Bell, our label. Yeah, he was he was aware of us. Like, I think he said some kind things in the press, I think. We did summon it there, but that's actually this guy Dave Catching's studio.
Okay.
The place in the desert, and Josh has a place in Los Angeles, so we kind of did the most of the record between those two. Yeah, certainly, I think it did. I think that whole experience with Josh really did, you know, like, I think in order to do that in the first place, we had to approach it a little bit more openly than perhaps we had to those situations before. We were always like reluctant to let people in, like, to our little group in the sort of early days. And as time's gone on, obviously, like, naturally, you perhaps, yeah, you know, you are more willing to like obviously he produced all his records before, and he's been in studios like a lot more than we have, but we you know, we weren't sure whether he'd produced a band that he wasn't a member of, you know what I mean? So it was going to be like a different it's kind of different process for everybody. I think almost because, like you just said, I think the band is kind of really considered a British band, I think, but, you know, because of that first album and the way my voice sounds, or like the accent it comes through. and so I think doing this, recording it in America and working with Josh and everything, you know, it doesn't deviate, it doesn't take it away that much. I think that's why we did it so quickly, you know, was because we really did like rush into that second album, and like obviously we just got Nick in the band at that point, and we all really wanted to make an album together, and it's like, you know, there was a definite desire to like shed a skin at that point and like try and you know, move on. Yeah, and you could just like, and you know, as a result of that, you did spend a lot longer on this album, and like there wasn't that kind of feeling of, you know, we'd try things and we'd have like a few weeks writing more songs and we'd record them, whereas, you know, there wasn't like this urgency, like, I suppose. This is the first time there's a sense of like satisfaction having completed this album that I don't think we've achieved before. I think it's just like you'd always kind of quickly have niggles about the other records, whereas with this one, I don't know, it just feels, you just feel more satisfied with it. I suppose it's like, and maybe it's because you've been playing a little bit longer and you've heard more records, and so it's you can, I suppose, like master your ideas a bit more, like making breakfasts now as opposed to playing pinball. Yeah, but I don't know, but we have obviously we've always done what we wanted to do, and the label's been very very good with us in that kind of department. But yeah, I don't know, more just like I'm happy with the tunes on this record. I just think like the songs are better and the sounds are better. To be honest, it still feels like the same really as it always has, like in terms of me writing. I probably do it like more now than I used to do. Like I probably write more like frequently, and I think that's just in the beginning I was always a bit uncomfortable with the idea of like being like a songwriter. I don't know, that like term used to give me a little shudder. Like I felt like I'd be I don't know, it reminds me of like the idea of being a songwriter used to be like freaking out, like because I don't. Yeah, I think in terms of like that, I feel like that first album, kind of, for me anyway, like encapsulates all that stuff from that world that, you know, like, and it was tied up neatly, and like I feel like that was done then almost, you know, and then it was just after that it's just no, I mean, just like there was other things to write about. I think I remember when it like kind of discovered, when I started kind of writing in that style, I suppose, or about what was going on like in our lives at that time. And I remember a time, you know, when I had like 2 or 3 songs in that vein, and it was like, well, if we made this another, if it was 5 or 6 or 7 songs, then that's, you know, you're almost got an album, and that could completely, you know, that's just, you could put a fork in that thing. Because by no means did that I or we didn't invent that kind of approach. You know, people were doing that even at the same time as we were. I think we probably had like joke tunes that were like about that. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really remember, to be honest. I don't know. It was just like, I think it's always been about like what the next thing would be for us, like next record or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's always, I don't know what the alternative would have been. Like, self-destruction. Well, we were just we had made demos like pretty after about like a year of playing together. We'd like made demos, and we'd, you know, Matt
our drummer would, you know, do a little artwork for it, and we'd give them away when we were playing around. And then there was a gentleman that stepped up and was kind enough to drive us out of town to play shows, like, and you know, and he got us to do another demo and stuff like that. And we'd always give the disc away or whatever at the show. And then some kids got hold of it and kind of put it on a website or a bit of MySpace or something, I think, as well. But it was really, to us, we were like just going around playing, and all it meant was the next time we went up to Newcastle or whatever, there'd be like a couple more people there than there was the last time, and they'd know some of these tunes that we would. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never had a MySpace. You guys on MySpace? No, I don't. I don't have fun. No. I tried to download Richard Hawley's new album the other day because there weren't a record shop around wherever we were in Denver or something, and it got 3 songs in, and then it cut me off. That's what I mean. I think you just have to, because even in like when the only thing you can kind of completely be in control of is like what's on the record, you know what I mean, and what you're gonna play in your set. And I don't know what shoes you've got on, but I mean, like, it's not how long your hair is, no. but like even like being interviewed for a magazine or whatever can always get like
misconstrued,
and like, you know, you kind of misquoted and whatever. But I mean, I think there's no point like worrying about it really. It's more just like, well, concentrate on the thing you can control. Well, what was that? No, there's a cracker about that tune "My Propeller" on the new album.
Yeah.
Like that there's some sort of that it's some kind of, that's describing a mood, I assure you, not an organ. Like, everything's like, I was like, wow, really? And I was like looking at the lyrics thinking, what? Yeah, I don't know. but it's quite funny, I suppose. I mean, I always say this, but we've always enjoyed coming and playing, and like the size of the places that we play over here is like adequate. Would you like to be 16 again? Maybe for like an afternoon or something, just for a laugh, to see what it was like. But
what was it like?
It was good, wasn't it? Like 16, so that's like, it was like the last year of school and stuff. That's it. Yeah, like a fun time.
What were you doing in your spare time? Were you playing guitar already? Or?
A little bit, yeah. I think probably just picked it up. I know, like I'd be like, I used to like this kind of like mecking beats and stuff like that when I was a bit younger, and I kind of were a bit into that. So probably we're doing that, and like I was like listening to Roots Maneuver loads and stuff, like and like hip hop and that. And yeah, I suppose like.
What did you think you were going to do the rest of your life?
I don't know.
You had no plans?
No, just either like join the circus or be in a band. But I don't know what else.
So dreams.
Maybe, I don't know. I would have ended up doing like English at university or something, and then like, I don't know, being a juggler in my spare time. Or something.
And were you a short kid when you were 16? Were you sure of yourself?
Oh,
no, not short.
I was quite short. Always been quite a short kid.
No, but sure of yourself. Were you confident?
Nah, I don't think so. I've always been quite shy.
Yeah.
Like the first time I kind of went on stage with this band was like the first time I'd ever done anything like that, really. I was quite shy, really. Yeah.
Were there girls already?
When I was 16. Yeah. Not loads. Didn't have like loads of girlfriends at school, but like a couple.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. If they think it's good.
Yeah, sure.
Why do you believe in democracy within a band? Or why not, I see.
Do you believe?
I guess, I don't know, I suppose it seems like a bit serious, like to like think of it like that, but I don't know. It's more we just chat things out and that. Really, I don't. It just sort of like it's more natural than like democracy. Sounds like you all sit down and you're like, right, this is what we're going to do.
Have a vote.
Yeah. It's all a bit mad, but it's just really just you'd be like, yeah, you just kind of get ideas from each other.
And it isn't like you're the main man and you can tell the others what to do or what not to do.
No, not at all. Like, you know, if I started getting like, you know, being all like this is what you know, I think I just get laughed at. You know? I'm not that forceful, but I think we just all sort of work it out together and that. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it difficult with the bass player leaving and someone else getting in?
I think perhaps it would have been had we not known the person that came in, but it's a friend of ours, like, and he like lived, you know, we sort of grew up like about like 2 minutes walk from each other's houses and stuff. You know, it's like we all sort of grew up in the same like area, us four, and it was kind of it was an obvious selection. Like, you know, if he couldn't have done it, then it may have been more difficult than that. But yeah, never mind. So, do you feel it is important to suffer to be able to create? No, I don't think so. Because sometimes like there's some great songs that are just about being jubilant, or you know, like I suppose like love songs and stuff as well. And you just like about I don't think so. No.
So how does it work? Where do you get inspiration from?
I mean, sometimes but don't get me wrong. Sometimes good songs come from like when you're angry at someone or about something. But I don't think it's 100% essential to be suffering. But I don't know. People like I'll get songs from like just like meeting people, like different characters, or just hearing stories about someone or something. I don't even know. Like half the time, I think it's like a subconscious thing. You just sort of feel compelled to write about.
Has it changed? Because with the first record, you were just a normal kid like everyone else, going out, doing the things other kids do, and now your life is completely different.
Yeah.
You just.
I guess, but I think we still like go out and stuff and like do the same sort of things that we used to do. Yeah, really. I mean, sometimes you get like. But we don't get like recognised like that much because we've like kept his heads down a bit. I keep trying to change my haircut as well. But just I think we still do that, but perhaps we just can't do it like that all the time in all the places that we used to or whatever. But you can just find other ones to do.
So you have to go look for places where you're not recognised.
Perhaps, yeah.
Is that strange? Because
I don't know. Not you don't have to like. Not that you just like. Most of the time we'll just go somewhere and it'll be fine. No one will say a thing. Yeah. Especially when we're like in other cities and stuff like around the world. It's like you can easily get away with it.
Yeah.
Has having money changed you? I don't think so. No, not really. I'm not even quite sure like what money we've got, to be honest. But
you must have some money.
Yeah, well, enough to I don't know. I don't think it's changed as though.
No, you never had any requests for money, for example. Like people come around and say, "Come on, Alex, can you?"
Oh no, that's not.
Let me.
No, that's what would happen if this were like a film or something. If that happens, that's where that happens, like in a film.
Not in real life.
I don't think so. And I don't know. Yeah, well, fortunately. Yeah. No.
Have you bought anything special? You think?
No, only like guitars and stuff, really.
And the car?
I haven't got a car. No. Still share my mum's car.
Oh.
She's good. She lets us have it when I'm home. But I don't know. Like, might have to get a car. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Don't really know what car I should have though. I
You're not into
can't
cars.
picture myself. Yeah,
No.
I'd end up getting the wrong thing. What do you miss most when you're on tour? Just friends, probably. You know, like that's the friends and Marmite.
Marmite. But you can take that with you,
You
can't
could take
you?
that with you, yeah, but you never do. I always forget.
Friends.
Friends, yeah.
Yeah. So how do you keep in touch with them when you're away? Do you
Just give a ring or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And like my mate's 21st birthday, like on Saturday, and
Yeah.
you didn't get to go and stuff. Like just things, sometimes like that. But that's just just miss your friends, but then just see them when you get back. And
Yeah.
that's
And is it the same like it were before when you see your friends now?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because you must have different stories. You come back from say Japan or something, and you can tell them about it. It must be.
Yeah, I suppose, but it's like, yeah, that's a good thing though. Like it's like, but then think like some stories our mates tell us though what they've been up to. That's like funnier in a way, you know what I mean? Like things that they get up to, like when being out or work or whatever. It's funny, But it's good like to see your friends like go to the football match or whatever when you get back. Good.
So which team do you support?
Sheffield Wednesday. Oh.
Sorry.
So I can't read. What would you not do a second time? Right. Went for a period when we've been on tour for a long time last summer, and it were very hot and sunny, and I played like a few gigs like in a vest. I don't think I'd do that again, like the vest. I see pictures of it now and I'm like, what are you doing? Been away from home for too long. Yes, Alex, it was warm, but it weren't that warm. You could have put a t-shirt on.
So
Behind closed doors, vest sound, but I haven't got the figure for a vest. Who am I kidding,
So are you vain in that way? Do you think,
No.
oh no?
I'm only joking, I don't know. Come the summer, I'll have a vest on again.
Yeah.
Sort of work on my arms a bit, though. Like, I need something here. Like, need a bit of
Weight.
bulking up, some weights, dumbbells for
Yeah.
the tour.
Mm-hmm.
Take dumbbells away.
Yeah, instead of the yo-yo.
Instead of the yo-yo, take some weights. Yeah. Yeah. Is there life after being a musician? I hope so. Yeah.
So what would you like to do?
I don't know. Get into musicals. I reckon. Like, I'll write musicals.
Sing in musicals?
Yeah.
Or, yeah?
No actors. I'll start off in pantomime and then make my way up the ladder and start writing musicals.
Yeah? You would like to do
No,
that?
I don't know. I might do. Who knows? Or trapeze. Something in circus. Like just for like an afternoon. I'll do circus.
But you never think about it. It's not, you never think, wow.
No, because at the moment it's just like I like writing songs and doing all that stuff, and so yeah, just see what happens. See what happens after. Like I reckon. I mean, we're only quite young now, so it's not like I don't feel like this is winding down or anything. It's just like starting really.
Yeah.
Still feel like quite a new band. It seems.
Yeah.
Like strange to think of like after this. Cause,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I don't know. Open a sweet shop. Cake shop, actually.
Cake shop.
Yeah, I'm into cake. Me. Oh, we've got two there.
So which one do you want?
Have that one. Yeah, no. Good cakes in Amsterdam, aren't there? Aren't really like. Yeah, you have good buns. Already. Are you a happy person? Yeah, I think so. At the moment, definitely today. I always get happy when sun's out shining. I've always had a thing about that, like, I like hate it when it's like raining and that, like. But when sun's out, I can't help but be like smiling and that. Like I've always had a bit of a thing remember like when we were at college and that, whenever it was sunny, I was like, yeah, dead up for it. Like Walkman on and like walk, whatever.
Do you find it hard to be happy, or does it come natural to you?
Yeah, no, I think fortunate to kind of be quite happy sometimes, and like especially like with the rest of the band, like it's funny, and like and they're my friends, and they were like my friends ever since before. So
Yeah.
I'm in a band with my friends and travelling around the world, and like it'd be difficult not to be happy, really.
In the tunnel, I noticed I had a choice of 3. While I thought it very kind of them to offer me this, I do wonder if they realised what a dilemma they were sending to face me. The trouble was, if I looked at your reflection in the left window, I missed the actual image of you and your reflection in the right. And if I looked at the right, I had the same problem, but the other way around. At first I thought I should probably settle on one of the mirrors, as they were soon to disappear, but that idea quickly wilted and my attention was drawn back to the centre, occasionally checking on either side. I must say I did question the authenticity of your nap a few minutes before. As the train left Loughborough, I suspected it could have been a device to avoid conversation. I'd barely considered this for a moment, however, when a heavy breath and a gulping sound that I decided would be too embarrassing to fake led me to conclude that your nap wasn't fraudulent. I found it difficult to concentrate on anything else as you slumped beneath your coat. Delighted that we'd waited until this hour to travel so the evening sun got its opportunity to skip across those sleeping cheeks, but unnerved by the prospect of being removed from the opposing chair to yours. I knew it was reserved, but hoped that whoever had reserved it had fallen over. It looked as if today I'd be safe. The train wasn't too busy, but I did take a moment to recall the time when I was less fortunate. I remembered it with a chilling vividity. We were on the way to Brighton. I knew it was going to be his seat as soon as I saw him on the platform, unzipping, checking, zipping and rechecking things. Something about his face suggested that he had for years had a moustache and had not long since removed it. He wasn't going to think twice about disposing of me, especially considering then he'd get the chance to sit with you. Though his hiking boot march through the carriage was rather revolting, it wasn't this that made my hands tense up into sour claws of nausea. It was the way he said it. "You're in my seat." No excuse me, no polite uncertainty, just the rigid, hideous fact. The thud with which it landed expelled all my preparation. Before I remembered my plans to pretend to be asleep, deaf, French, or only sat there because someone was in my seat, I was walking to find another vacancy. I ended up dwelling unhappily beside a girl with a boy's bum. I knew that because she walked too far past when she returned to one of what I thought to be 2 empty seats when I sat myself there. I fidgeted until our reunion on the platform, where you brutally informed me. That man was really rather pleasant, actually. Today I thought I'd better make sure that couldn't happen again, and I pulled the ticket from the top of my seat. It took a few attempts and the facade of hanging a jacket to finally complete. I was terribly cautious. There's a threat of punishment for such deeds by fine as far as I understand, but those shackles were at the back of my mind as I crushed the reservation in my hidden fist, folding and squeezing as if it were that beast on the way to the seaside. Fortunately, there was no retribution. If anything, the train got quieter as the journey continued. And so in the tunnel, unable to decide, my head flicked through this trilogy of angles, angel after angle, until we were out the other side. My frantic twitching no doubt caused the man at the adjacent table to narrow his eyes at the very least, I imagine. I don't know for sure. I didn't have time to add into the cycle.